Boys, I am back from a certain event, and I am excited to share with you the hardest deck I have ever tried learning in my entire life. This is Crystron. I'm going to be giving you guys the little bit of history of what this deck did historically, a little bit of a card-by-card discussion, and of course, some of that sweet gameplay. And with that, let's crust into Crystron.
Alright, I've figured out how to fix the game. First, we ban all the tuna monsters.
So, Crystrons are a bit of a weird one. Released in Invasion of Vengeance, one of the craziest sets of all time, Crystrons were a synchro-based archetype that were unfortunately not really fast enough to keep up with the rapidly evolving game. They were too bricky, too inconsistent, and overall just a bit too low impact. Why make Quarion Gandrax when you can make Denglong or summon Zodiac Trident? As such, they kind of resided as a meme pack filler archetype for years. However, that was until March 2020 when Duel Overload was finally released. This set introduced the long-awaited Link Vrains pack import that people spent about 4 whole years waiting for, Crystron Hauki Fibrax. This card on Link Summer lets you summon a level 3 or lower tuner from your hand or deck in defense position, but it cannot activate its effects this turn. During opponent's main or battle phase, as a quick effect, you can banish this card you control, special summon a tuner synchro monster from your extra deck, and this is treated as a synchro summon. This single card catapulted Crystron to a tier 0 status, nay, a tier -1 status. Being able to search Sitries from the deck and add Sulfafnirs was exactly what the deck needed. Destroying Adamantipator, Dinosaur, and just I'm kidding, this deck still fucking sucked. The main problem with this deck was that the Crystron summons a good majority of its interaction on the opponent's turn rather than its own, and for a while, none of the options were either good or they were way too high commitment. Cards like Quarion Gandrax were basically your entire turn. However, thanks to Bellbind, who is, as far as I know, the only remaining Crystron player in existence, we've cobbled together a list that can set up interruption and negates on both our own and our opponent's turn, thanks to new combo lines, indirect synchro support, and a bunch of other bullshit that's way too complicated for me to explain properly. And with that, let's get into the card by card. We're playing one Crystron Sitri. This is just Hauki Fibrax 0.5, where you can basically just reborn something and synchro summon on your opponent's turn. You can usually search this off of something like Sulfafnir or the Hauki Fibrax itself, so we're only playing it at 1. Crystron Smyger is a questionably named card if your name is Joseph Rothschild, and you can banish it to add a Crystron spell trap from deck to hand. We're only playing 2 because it's super searchable, and we only play 1 spell trap. Crystron Thistvern is really good. We can banish it to add a monster from deck to hand. We're playing one Rosenix, who can banish itself in order to summon a token, which is very important for certain Hauki Fibrax and or Synchro lines. And of course, the best card in the deck, in my opinion, the Crystron Sulfafnir, where if it's in your hand or graveyard, discard a Crystron card, accept itself, special summon it in defensive position, and then destroy a card you control. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle card effect, say its own, you can special summon a Crystron monster from your deck in defense position. There's no real hard target or real combo that you're going into specifically. You're going to be usually grabbing whatever you may need at the time. It might be a Thistvern, it might be a Smyger if you need the spell trap really badly, it might be Sitri if you've opened Nuclear. And now onto the dumb synchro stuff. We're playing the Side Reflector package. We're playing 3 PSI Reflector. This card is just absolutely insane for making Chaos Ruler, who is incredibly important for your plays. We're playing the 1 Assault Beast, and we're playing the 1 Assault Mode Activate. We're not playing Assault Sentinel because that card is terrible, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Yeah, I don't think I have to explain why the 1 card Synchro 8 is exactly broken in this deck. Next, we are playing a bunch of extenders because we really need to dig for specific cards. We're playing the 2 Danger Jackalope, the 3 Danger Tsuchinoko, and the 3 Danger Nessie. We're also playing the 3 Destrudo Lost Dragon's Frisian, as well as the 2 Emergency Teleport to grab the Side Reflector, and the 1-for-1, who can grab a lot more than just the Side Reflector. For hand traps, we are playing the 1 Psyframe Driver, the 2 Psyframe Gear Gamma, because these are tuner summons that are really important for in scenarios where if we get Ash Blossomed on like E-Telly, Gamma is just also broken, and we can also summon Gamma off of Emergency Teleport in order to get like a level 2 tuner onto the board in case we want to make level 10 synchros, such as our Baron. Yeah, just a really generically really good card. And the 3 Ash Blossoms. You may be asking why we're not playing Maxi. It's quite simple. we have nothing good. We want to draw off Max E. Next, we are playing a whole bunch of Garnets. We're playing the one Deskbot 001 for Auroradon lines. We're playing the one Jet Synchron for Excel Synchron lines. We are playing the one Plague Spreader Zombie because this is really funny to go into for making Baron de Fleur. We're playing two Mega Fan of Beast old line. Bellbind was playing one. I'm like, no, I hate drawing this card. We're going to play two so we can draw it more. And finally, we're just playing dumb stuff, Foolish Burial for stuff like Destrudo, the Assault Mode Activate, Called by the Grave is just, you know, hand traps, I hate them. One Fairy Tale Snow to send off of our Shooting Riser, and one Crystron Impact. This card is actually insane. Target one of your banished Crystron monsters, special summon it, and if you do, if your opponent controls any face-up monsters, change their defense points to 0. This is a lot better than it reads on paper. Usually what you're going to be doing for your main combo is off of your Fairy Tale Snow, you're going to be banishing your Crystron Halka-Fibrax in order to summon it, and then off of the Crystron Impact that you're going to be searching off of Smyger, you are going to be able to bring it back and then do a whole ton of synchro plays on your opponent's turn thanks to, you know, this card being stupidly broken. For our extra deck, we're playing one Excel Synchron, which is basically just a quick effect synchro summon on our opponent's turn. It is very, very important that we are playing it, and it is very, very important that we don't draw a Jet Synchron because we need to send it in order to modulate its level, usually to level 4. We're playing one Dawn Dragster because it is a great level 7, two Shooting Riser Dragons, one for our own turn to send the Fairy Tale Snow, and one to make on our opponent's turn because quick effect synchro summoning is broken. One Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon. This card is the best card in the deck that's not named Sulfefnir. Most of your plays will revolve around this card. It is so important that this card resolves that, yeah, it's just really important. One Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, as well as Big Trishula, because this deck has a stupid easy time at making basically any level synchro you want. And Trishula summoning on your opponent's turn, as well as the Big Trishula, is really, really good. Next, we're playing the one Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. We could usually make this with, say, an Errant Jet Synchron that we sent out of Excel and a Chaos Ruler. You're not always going to go into this, but it's always really nice to have. And, of course, one Baron de Fleur, the best ranked level 10 synchro in the universe. For our links, we're playing one Crystron Halka-Fibrax. This card is absolutely insane. One Nightmare Phoenix. We're never really going to go into most of these. One Barricade Borg Blocker. We're not using this for the effect. We're just using this as a way to A, either clear up zones, or B, get an additional machine for Halka-Fibrax to go into our Auroradon in case, you know, everything goes south. One Nightmare Unicorn, one Auroradon because God hates us and has left a long time ago, and one Axis Kotaker to just clean up games. And with that, let's get into the gameplay. So, our match is going to be against the worst deck in history, Plunder Patrol. We've opened insanely well. We're going to activate the emergency teleport. They're going to activate Maxi, but guess what? We were just a little bit better. We've opened the Cyframe Gear Gamma, and they don't have an Ash Blossom. At this point, we basically just, you know, won the lottery. We have access to our Chaos Ruler, and we have access to a non-committal Halka-Fibrax line thanks to us not using a normal summon. We're going to use the Psy Reflector, get the Assault Beast. We're going to use the Assault Beast immediately so we don't mill the Assault Mode Activate off of the Chaos Ruler. We're going to add the Assault Mode Activate, and we're going to go into Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon. We're going to mill 5, and we hit. That's a Tsuchinoko. That's a Foolish Burial. That is a Deskbot 001. Not actually the end of the world, by the way. We're a Sulfefnir and a Danger Nessie. We're going to add the Danger Nessie because I like the levels a bit more, and we're going to use the Psy Reflector, reveal the Assault Mode Activate, and bring back our Assault Beast and turn it into level 6. I originally did that because I thought we needed to make Shooting Riser, and then I realized that we had Snow in hand already. So usually make that a level 7 to make your Chaos Ruler. We're going to summon Plague Spreader to summon Baron de Fleur. We're going to Nessie Pitch Snow because they're just better in order to draw a Call by the Grave. We're going to normal summon our Thystvern. We're going to go into Barricade Borg Blocker in order to get the machine set up, and we're going to go into Auroradon. Auroradon's going to summon 1, 2, 3 tokens, and because we milled the Deskbot 001, we are going to be able to summon that on resolution. We're going to use 2 of the tokens to go into Dawn Dragster, which is really, really nice. We're going to use Thystvern to add Rosenix as a discard outlet. We're going to use Sulfefnir pitching the Rosenix we just searched in order to summon itself as well as pop itself. Self-Definier is going to bring out the Smyger, who is going to be tributed off the Ordon to summon the Mecha Phantom Beast O-Lion. We're going to banish the Smyger in order to set the Crystron impact, and we're going to go into Excel Synchron in the EMZ. Very important because we do need zones. O-Lion is going to trigger. We're going to get a token. Excel Synchron is going to send Jet Synchron. We're going to set our Called by the Grave, and Rosenix is going to banish herself to summon a token and pass. We didn't even need to make Hot Red because our follow-up is just that incredible. They're going to activate the Shipyard. They are going to discard a Tsuchinoko in order to add a Whitebeard. They're going to use the effect of Tsuchinoko on Grave. I don't Called by, not because I think they have a better target, but because I don't want to, and because it's funnier this way. They're going to go for Golden Hair, pitching the Whitebeard. We're going to use the effect of Fairy Tale Snow in order to summon itself and to book that Golden Hair face down. The Whitebeard is going to summon Red. I don't Call by it because it's really, really funny. We're going to chain Excel Synchron to the summon of our Snow. This is a little bit of a misplay, but whatever. I hate life. We're going to use the effect of Shooting Riser Dragon on Resolution in order to send Fistfern after Snow books their monster face down. We're going to go into Shooting Riser Dragon using the tokens and the Snow in order to go into Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Seeing that, as well as the fact that we have Impact, Call by the Grave, and we haven't even used any of our negates yet, our opponent is gonna scoop it up. So what did we learn today, class? That this deck is like the coolest thing on earth? Yeah. Let's get into the pros and cons. 1. This deck has a ton of ways to interact with your opponent, both on the negation side and the disruption side. Stuff like Trishula is obviously amazing when you're able to crack an opponent's board with it, especially when it's on their own turn. And not to mention the negates such as in the Dawn Trackster and the Baron are especially powerful. 2, this deck has amazing follow-up. You have so much follow-up thanks to your graveyard support, such as the Crystron, Fistfern, you've got like the Halka you've got Shooting Riser, you have Snow for follow-up. There's just a ton of cards in this deck that allow you to crunch through your opponent's board, even if they somehow manage to play through everything and set up their own. It's actually like incredible. And 3, this deck is so weird to interact with if your opponent does not have hand traps. If you're playing against this deck and you're playing traditional board breakers such as Raigeki, Feather Duster, Dark Ruler No More, you're going to realize very, very quickly that your opponent just does not care. If you get Dark Rulered, who cares? We have Crystron Impact, we have the Halka Firebrax to summon the Shooting Riser, or the Excel Synchron. We have so many lines of play to play through our opponent's turn that we just honestly do not really care if stuff gets blown up, if stuff gets negated. We just have so many avenues of play that our opponent realistically cannot answer all of those options. And the cons. 1, this deck is really, really fucking hard. I don't think I really have to explain why this deck is so hard when you look at the 50 synchro level modulation lines in here. But even though things have kind of been smoothed out thanks to stuff like Auroradon, there are a lot of flags that you have to check, such as, do I have the right levels? Do I have the board space? There were a ton of games where I was like, damn, I might have to Baron Defleur pop my own monsters just to have the board space to do my combo. Or I was like, do I even summon off of this danger? It is just so incredibly difficult, this deck, that you will really have to sit down and do your homework for once in your life. 2, this deck dies to a single hand trap. Yeah, if you get like hand trapped on like Hulk or Auroradon or Chaos Ruler, you are in for a very, very bad time, which is why stuff like Crossout Designator and Prohibition honestly aren't even the worst inclusions at all, honestly. And 3, yeah, this deck's expensive. There's like a million SRs and URs. I'm sorry, chat. This is such an expensive deck. But if you have the dust and the time to commit to learning a really, really interesting deck, I cannot recommend it more than this one. This deck is absolutely based in every capacity. And thank you guys so much for watching. Again, huge shoutouts to Bellbind for sitting down and teaching me the deck, as well as giving me the deck list, which I basically changed by adding one O-Lion because he is terrible at the game. And yeah, be sure to let me know in the comment section what you guys thought of the deck and what you guys want to see in the future. That's going to be it for me. I've been Stevie Blunder, and yeah, see ya.